Hi guys, welcome back to day 13 of the best advice I ever got. Hope you're learning and you're putting into practice the advice that you're getting. So today we're moving very fast and we're moving in good energy. Yes. So we thank God for the past few days. Welcome back. The best advice I ever got, don't waste your suffering. Don't waste your suffering. Let's begin. I began my career in 1962, and for the first 10 years, I could do no wrong. I had a meteoric rise, but when I signed with the Chicago Bulls, things began to change. And not for the better. I was a new Christian at the time, struggling to understand why things were worse instead of better now that I was God's man. That is when I called Warren Westby, former pastor of Moody Church in Chicago, and asked if we could have lunch. I filled him in. I told him how surprised I was when things started to go wrong. How I prayed, Lord, do you remember me? I'm serving you. Warren answered, Pat, don't waste your suffering. I was baffled at his response. 4 years later, I can appreciate what he said to me. Being a Christian does not mean that we will never have a problem or disappointment. Life, even the life of a Christian, is tough. God expects us to embrace our suffering, learn from it, and let it help us grow. When we do, we become wiser, sharper, and more effective in what God has called us to do. That is the key to the triumphant life. That is the key to the triumphant life. Pat Williams, Senior Vice President of the NBA's Orlando Magic. 1 Peter 5:10, the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. 2 Corinthians 1:4, he helps us in all our troubles so that we are able to help others who have all kinds of troubles, using the same help that we ourselves have received from God. Hebrews 5:8 to 9. Although Jesus was a son, he learned obedience from what he suffered, and once made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey. Romans 8:28. We know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Pat Williams is the Senior Vice President of the NBA's Orlando Magic and the author of more than 40 books. One of America's top motivational, inspirational, and humorous speaker. He has addressed employees from many Fortune 500 companies, the Million Dollar Roundtable, two Billy Graham's Crusade, two Peter Lower Success Seminars, and group on many university campuses. Since 1968, he has been affiliated with National Basketball Association teams in Chicago, Atlanta, and Philadelphia, including the 1983 World Champion 76ers, and now the Orlando Magic, which he co-founded in 1987 and helped lead to the NBA Finals in 1995. 23 of his teams have gone to the NBA playoffs, and 5 of them have made the NBA Finals in 1996. Pat was named as one of the 50 most influential people in NBA history by a national publication. Pat and his wife Ruth are the parents of 19 children, including 14 adopted from 4 nations, ranging in age from 20 to 24, and are featured in many major periodicals and major television networks. Don't waste your suffering. Let us learn from it. Teach us so that we won't make mistakes again. Don't waste your sufferings. The best advice I ever got, never give in. Never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never give in. Never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. These words were spoken by Winston Churchill in 1941 when he addressed the boys at his alma mater, Harrow School in England. Although might as these words were in the full text of his remarks, they were part of a much longer speech in which he exalted the students at the height of World War II. Like many people, I have taken these famous words to be a valuable and important exhortation with God's help. I have followed them and attribute much of my success to their wisdom. Jen Karen, author of the best selling Wilford series. James 1 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Galatians 6 9. Let us not lose heart and grow weary, and faith in acting nobly and doing right. For in due time and at the appointed season, we shall reap if we do not loosen and relax our courage and faint. James 1:12. Blessed are those who persevere under trial, because when they have stood the test, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. James 5:1. We consider blessed those who have persevered. You have heard of Job perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy. Jane Karen wrote her first novel at the age of 10. The manuscript was written on blue earth notebook paper and was for good reason kept hidden from my sister when she found it. She discovered the one curse word I had included after my grandmother exceedingly focused reproof. I have written books without cursing ever since. Several years ago, Karen left a successful career in advertising to write books. I stepped out on faith to follow my lifelong dream of being an author. She says I made real sacrifice and took big risks. But living it seems to me, is largely about risk. Enthusiastic booksellers across the world have introduced readers of all age to Karen's heartwarming books. At home in Whitford, Karen's first book in the Whitford series was nominated for an Abbey by the American Booksellers Association in 1996, 1997, and 1998. Don't waste your suffering. Never given, never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty, never given to set convictions of honor and good sense. Don't waste your sufferings. There are people out there ready to learn from you. They want to hear your advice. They want to see what you've been through. They want to hear the truth. They want to know the failures before you had the success. They want to know how you fell million times before you can stand so tall without falling again. Yes, I'm waiting. A lot of people are waiting because they want to learn from you. And all this suffering is part of your purpose. Understand me. Understand me. Understand me. It was not something that you chose by yourself. No. But all of this was to mold you into that exact image of who God created you. It is part of your assignment. You've been through a lot. Yes, you've been through a lot. And we are glad that you triumphed. But there are a lot of people in that exact situation. There are a lot of people that, if they don't hear your story, they will get into such because they didn't have the knowledge and understanding of it. But if you come out, if you tell them your story, if you share your life story with them, they will learn. If you share all the sufferings, all the trials, all the tests, all the temptations, all the failures, they would see that, okay, this path I'm going, will lead to destruction. This path I'm going will give no good thing. They will turn back. They will pick advice. Yeah? Never give in to things that are not yours. Always hold on to good convictions, the strong ones. Don't give in to some things that are not. Hold on to these words. They've helped great men, great women stand tall, and I'm sure it can help you. It is helping me, and I'm sure it does to you too. See you in day 14. Bye.